How's it going today, y'all? Welcome back to the Search Clouds podcast. Today I have with me Mr. Jeff, our senior developer and
Hello.
SEO specialist. How you going today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I think today we're just gonna talk about SEO and why it's important and why it's a pretty mandatory piece of marketing strategy to have when it comes to your websites and all that good stuff. So jumping right into it, for one, can you tell me what SEO even stands for? What does it mean?
Yeah, it stands for Search Engine Optimization. And what that is how does your website perform on search engines? And that's not just Google. That's also Bing. Ask Jeeves is still around too. Yahoo.
Yeah.
Back when all those guys were still big.
Gotcha.
But it's primarily focused on Google nowadays.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely the biggest search engine. I think the market share is, I want to say 85%.
I think it's higher than that.
Higher than 85?
I think at this point, I mean, they're dominating.
They are, absolutely. So when it comes to SEO, why is it important for websites? Or why do websites need to be optimized for SEO?
They need to be optimized because that's how Google reads your website as well. It's not just humans you have to worry about reading your website.
Yeah.
It's also the search engines.
Yep.
And they don't read like me and you do. They
Right.
don't read like people. They are computers, so they want things. They want to know what's important on the website, and then what's that paragraph going to be about? What is the website about?
Okay.
And we use, headers and metadata to convey that information to Google.
And what is a header?
A header is those. They're like titles for the paragraphs
Gotcha.
or services. It's what's important about the content. People often misuse them to just make text bigger.
Yeah.
But
See that a
in
lot.
reality, they're for something so
Yeah.
much more important than that.
So when it comes to like these header tags, H1, H2, and H3, if someone wanted to, they wanted a bigger text, so they wanted H1 instead of a P text, whatever. What would be the proper way to make the text bigger instead of using just an H1?
So you would add what is called class names.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's in CSS. CSS is the makeup of the website.
Right.
It's all the colors, the text sizes,
Fonts. Yeah.
And you would add a class to that text and control it through there. Because there you can make it as big as you want, change the color, the font style, everything.
Gotcha.
Without affecting your SEO.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's important to make sure your titles and your header tags, match the actual paragraph content on your page.
Yeah.
Correct. So if I have, a page about a paragraph about SEO, I don't want the title to be about paid search, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And I see people use them for like call to actions.
Okay,
Which
yeah.
is like those banners that you see that say, "Our customers love us."
Yeah.
That's not related to what your business is about. Like, it's great that your customers love you, but
Right.
for
Exactly.
Google, they don't correlate that to your business. So you want to be as relevant as possible in those header tags to what your business is about,
Okay.
but also what the page is about.
Makes sense. So when it comes to SEO and organic ranking, what are some of the factors that play into how Google ranks websites?
So the main things that they use is titles, which
Okay.
is different from your header tags. That's
Gotcha.
something a little bit different. The meta descriptions.
And what is a meta description?
Meta description is a excerpt of what your page is about, and Google will use that to display, and it will display your meta description on Google.
Oh, it's like the little snippet you see in the search,
Yes.
the little under, it says like your, the URL, like the page title, whatever, then like the little snippet under that, that's the description. Gotcha.
Yeah. All of that stuff right there on Google is
Yeah.
your metadata.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
your meta title,
Yep.
your meta, everything is
Gotcha.
right there.
Okay.
So that's what people read. That's the first thing that their first impression
Gotcha.
of you on Google is all of that metadata.
Okay. So if you don't have any meta titles, meta descriptions, that's gonna negatively affect your ranking, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another common mistake I see a lot of SEO companies, the other guys.
The other guys, yeah.
The other guys.
The other guys.
Biggest mistake I see them do is they just copy and paste the same meta description for every single page.
I've seen that when I'm doing SEO audits. I've seen that so many times. It'll say, "Oh, you have 50 pages with the exact same meta description."
Yeah.
And how does that negatively affect SEO? Why is that bad?
Because you're competing with yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're competing with yourself. So if you have 50 pages on a website, and someone's looking for a specific service. So for like what we do, if we do SEO.
Yeah.
If we had every single one of our pages about, just paid search, SEO is not going to get picked up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then we're just competing. We're competing with ourselves over that same meta description. So we've got, instead of one competitor, we have 50 competitors now.
Essentially, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So we have titles, we have meta descriptions, we have header tags. What else is important when it comes to SEO?
Meta images is a big one.
Meta
too.
images, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, when you share a URL with your friends and it'll show up with an image.
Yes,
that's what the meta image is.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, if you don't have it, it defaults to a browser icon.
Gotcha. That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay, so when it comes to these images and everything, is there like a way they need to be optimized or structured or titled? Like, how does images play part of SEO?
Images play such a massive part in SEO because people misuse them.
Okay.
All the time. So with images, they affect so much. They affect your site speed. They affect ADA, which is the American Disability Act.
Yep.
They affect your SEO. They affect so much in your website, and people don't properly use images all the time.
Gotcha.
You have to name the images properly.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We can cut that out.
Go ahead.
So with the images, people misuse them all the time. They affect so many things, and people mess. They don't optimize the images properly. So sometimes they'll have a 4K image.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 megabytes of data.
Oh my gosh.
And they'll use it for the first image on the website, and it takes forever for
to load.
It takes forever for it to load.
Okay.
And that affects your SEO and your website performance because it takes forever for your website to load.
Yeah.
And then we also have this battle right now with WebP images. So for those who don't know, WebP is the new standard format of images for the web.
Yep.
And what is a 10 megabyte picture with a JPEG is like 50 kilobytes with a WebP image.
Yeah, a lot smaller.
It's insanely smaller.
A lot smaller.
But most websites won't accept WebP images being uploaded.
Yep.
So it's this constant battle of like trying to find, like, you want to use WebP, but you can't upload WebP.
Exactly.
And it's such an amazing format too, because
it is.
It also replaces PNGs.
Yep, exactly.
Which, for those who don't know, PNGs are the images without backgrounds.
Transparent, black or whatever.
Yeah, you can just put it anywhere, and it shows up, and it looks they're great.
Yeah, it looks great. Absolutely.
And then alt tags. People misuse alt tags all the time. They think you have to put an alt tag in. You don't have to put an alt tag in unless there's text on the image.
Gotcha.
Because now Google will read the alt tag and say, oh, this is more relevant information about the website.
Okay.
So if you have a picture of a construction worker holding a wrench, just as a an image to make the website look good, you don't need to put an alt tag in there that says construction worker holding wrench.
Gotcha.
Just leave it blank.
Okay.
Because the alt tag is actually used by screen readers.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Okay.
they're also used for people with bad internet.
Mm-hmm.
But well, I mean, we've kind of gotten away from such bad internet that images don't load anymore. But
Right.
for screen readers, it's very important because that's how people with, sight disabilities
Yeah.
use websites.
Okay.
And if you start putting in just descriptions of the picture,
Uh-huh.
it takes them out of the reading of it.
Gotcha.
It's only important if there's information to convey on the image.
Okay.
So if you have a banner that says 20% off sale
Mm-hmm.
and it's just an image, well, then you need to put the alt tag in.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need the alt text. You just need like what the image title essentially. Just the title of the image, or do you need to name the title or anything? Name the image or anything?
You can name the image. That's not going to hurt.
Okay.
The name of the image should be relevant. I mean, you always want to have relevant information
Gotcha.
in there.
Mhm.
It's just so much more important when there's text on the image.
Okay.
But the alt text is for when the image just can't be displayed, or it's for screen readers.
Okay. That makes
The
sense.
title and the description which you can put is relevant to SEO.
Gotcha.
It's just more reinforcement.
Gotcha. So if someone was deciding to go with SEO versus paid search, because I know me and you as developers, we kind of have a slight bias towards SEO. Not saying SEO is necessarily better than paid search, but as developers, we kind of prefer that. So if someone was debating between SEO and paid search, what would be like the pros and cons of each? Would you say?
So the pros, paid search,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get to the top 3.
Yeah.
You're gonna get up there. Unless your website is absolute garbage, you're gonna get up there, and you're gonna get up there very, very quickly.
Okay.
You don't have to put in all this SEO effort to get up to the top.
Yep.
But paid search can't fix your website.
Exactly.
SEO can.
Exactly.
SEO is also about the user's experience.
Okay.
And it's about how people read the website, and is it conveying information quickly and efficiently.
Gotcha.
Our attention spans have dropped
Yeah.
drastically.
Yeah. It's
Our attention spans have dropped drastically.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to convey this information as quickly and in snippets, almost as possible.
Makes sense.
So that people can, because people just skim the website.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
They're just skimming the website until they find the information that they need.
Yeah, man. I'm worse than that. I don't even skim. I hit Command F and search what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So
Not everyone knows Command F.
That's true. I don't even read the websites half the now. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, people try to put in all this information to try to be like the authoritative figure of it, and which is good, but it needs to be put in its proper place. It can't be, where a broad question is trying to be answered.
Mm-hmm.
It's more for, it needs to be in a very specific place. You need to structure the website properly so that if people are looking for all of that information, they can still easily find it.
Gotcha.
But they're not getting lost on a single page trying to find that specific content.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. So when it comes to SEO, so paid search, you say is more about, not so more about it, you can get to the top 3 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it, so if my website is currently in the top 10 for a certain keyword in a certain city, about how long do you think it would take me to get to the top 3 spot with SEO?
With SEO, I mean, it just depends on how good your competitors are using SEO. And that's the main thing, is like not a lot of people use SEO.
Mm-hmm.
So those that do have it are going to get up there very, very quickly.
Okay.
So with SEO, we can usually get you up higher to those top 3 spots, fighting for several different keywords, usually in about 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
It takes time.
Yeah.
We gotta, figure out what algorithm works for you.
Yep.
In your business. So it's just one of those, it's like a healthy and fit lifestyle. You're not going to see changes tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're not going to see changes next week. You're going to see them a couple months down the road.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So if you said it's like a health lifestyle, meaning you have to be consistent with it as well. You can't do SEO for a week
Yeah.
and then ignore it for 6 weeks and then come back to it a month later and then expect to see changes.
Yeah, because I mean, SEO is not just about what's on your website. There's on-page SEO, which is
Okay.
what we've been talking about, but then there's also off-page SEO, which is what other companies and other websites are saying about you.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if they have incorrect information about you, we need to correct them.
Okay.
We usually use like data aggregators to find where those are. You know, Yelp, just all sorts of different directory listing websites.
Makes sense.
There's also like local town papers that have websites, and they'll mention businesses all the time. So we need to make sure that they also have correct information about your business. A lot of it's small stuff that gets messed up
Yeah.
with them. You know, maybe they'll accidentally misspell your business name or put the wrong address down, and you know, we have to fix that as well, because we want to make sure that all the information across the web about you is correct and relevant to what you do.
Okay.
Because then that links back to you, and then it just reinforces your authority on your service.
Okay. Sounds good. You kind of mentioned earlier about when it comes to ranking and your competitors. Do you think it's a good idea to track competitors? And if you do, how do you go about that? Like, if I want to start tracking my competitors, what would be the best way to go about that?
So you can easily track your competitors, and it's such a good idea, because then you can see how they rank against you, and then we can compare the content on their page against yours and see why are they competing at a higher level than you.
Okay.
And that we use that to improve your SEO ranking.
Gotcha.
Because you know, maybe they thought about a question and answer that you didn't.
Okay.
And they might be wrong about it, or maybe you have a different, you know, viewpoint on what's the correct answer.
Okay.
So if people like your answer more than theirs, then you're going to be a better figure.
That makes sense.
You're going to be more. You're going to be more respected by Google,
Gotcha.
because you're more respected by your user base.
Okay, that makes sense. So if I wanted to, you know, kind of gauge where I'm at on my current website when it comes to this, you know, meta tags and alt descriptions and all that type of stuff, how would I go about checking like how well my site is currently ranking?
Hire us.
That's a great answer. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a tricky kind of world with SEO.
Okay.
I mean, you have to know all these things to look. I mean, you can easily, you know, look up a checklist of things to look at, but you need to also know where to find that on your website.
That's true.
And if you're not tech savvy, it can be a little intimidating and very time consuming. So it's all there in your website. Anyone can access it. It's not hidden behind anything, but you need to know there's tools to use to grade your SEO grade.
Gotcha.
You got to know where your titles are at, your meta descriptions, all these different technical, you know, all this technical information that isn't always so easily findable about your website, especially with all the different platforms people use: Wix, WordPress, BigCommerce, Shopify, Squarespace, Bluehost. We can go on and on and on.
It's a lot.
I mean, so it's a little difficult. There's not one of these website builders is the same.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you've got the time, try to learn it yourself.
Gotcha.
I definitely implore you to, because then you'll at least you'll have an understanding of, you know, how SEO is reacting with your website, and you can build a better website off of that. Because if the average person who built their own website just took, you know, 30 minutes to look into SEO and see like just the basics of it, they can make an amazing website.
Gotcha.
And it would perform very well. But if you're competing against other people who have an SEO company or paid search company, you need You need someone with a lot more in-depth knowledge and the resources and tools to be able to compete against those people. Because at that point, it's a competition.
Yeah.
And you need a professional in a competition.
So if I wanted to hire a professional, if it's someone for SEO, what type of questions should I ask whoever I'm deciding to do my SEO? Should I ask them, what keywords are they going to rank me for? Or what type of SEO strategy do you have in mind? How long is it going to take to do this? Like, what type of questions should people ask if they don't know anything about SEO and they want to hire someone to do it?
I think the things that you should ask is, what is the better way to get people to the right pages?
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
How do I get people to contact me more about the correct services? People,
gotcha.
We had one client. They're a handyman service,
Mm-hmm.
but they did not do plumbing or
electrical work.
Yeah, electrical work.
Yeah.
They didn't do that, but they were a handyman company. So it's, we had to make sure that there was nothing about electrical work or plumbing on there,
Mm-hmm.
except for the fact that they don't do it. So we had to make that like a very big thing. Like we put an FAQ on the front page,
Gotcha.
a small one.
Yeah.
Just like 3 or 4 things,
Mm-hmm.
and in there it asked, "Hey, do you do electrical work?"
Okay.
No, we do not do electrical or plumbing. So we put that on the front page to make sure that, right there on the front page,
Mm-hmm.
people can find out that they don't do it. We made sure, that there's none of the services could even be related to that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Even though they do like bathroom remodels, we didn't make a bathroom remodel page. We made a remodel page, included, bathrooms in there.
Okay.
So it was just like bathrooms were not even in the site maps or in any of the URLs.
Okay.
It was all about remodeling or, fixtures. And so there's just different ways to combat these things.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to find out what is the issue that you're having
Okay.
with your clients, and how best can they fix those issues.
Gotcha.
And if they don't have a good answer, then
That's probably a red flag.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
yeah, and take 5 minutes to look up just the basics of SEO.
Yep.
Just ask them about that, even if you don't understand what header tags are,
Mm-hmm.
or if you don't understand what meta images are. If you start asking those questions and they start fumbling around with it,
Gotcha.
then they don't know.
Yep.
ADA compliancy is
That's
a
a
big
big
thing.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
If your company gets government funding,
Yeah.
you have to be ADA compliant. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Man. So when it comes to SEO, you kind of mentioned the services page, you mentioned the FAQ page. What other pages are like pretty much like mandatory, or you would highly recommend every website has to be SEO compliant?
You definitely need your privacy policy and your terms and conditions.
Okay.
People forget about those all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a basic one. I mean, you can find one of those pretty easily anywhere.
Gotcha.
Just fill out the information,
Mm-hmm.
put those in. I mean, really, you just need the services page and the contact page. The About Us page is not too important for
Okay.
SEO because it's telling your story.
Yeah.
And I mean, your visitors are going to see that as important, but Google does not care about your story.
Right.
They care about
Yeah.
what are you about.
Makes sense.
So, and the biggest thing is blogs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We haven't even touched on blogs yet.
Oh man, yeah, okay. I know
Mhm.
blogs were like super popular back in like the early 2000s and like kind of late 2000s, early 2010s. Do you think this is still a good thing for SEO today?
Oh, it's like, if you want to get an edge on your competition and they don't have blogs,
Okay.
get some blogs.
Okay.
I mean, they are so important because SEO, Google loves new, updated information.
Yeah, they do.
They love it. They eat it up. So if you have blogs that come out just once a month,
Okay.
just once a month even, you're going to get such a leg up on your competition.
Okay.
You just write it about something that you know. Give clear, concise information. It doesn't need to be long.
Gotcha.
Add a picture or two. I mean, and you're good to go. It just needs to be a minimum of 300 words.
Okay.
Minimum 300 words. That's not long. That's a paragraph. That's a paragraph.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to blogs, do you think it's better to have, blogs.domain.com or domain.com/blogs?
So for blogs, no. But there are other things that do benefit from that heavily.
Okay.
So, like, for us, and for instance, we do paid search and SEO.
Correct.
They're related, but they're two completely different fields.
Right.
So what we could do is we could do SEO.thesearchlabs.com or paid search.thesearchlabs.com.
Okay.
And have each of those their own homepage for about paid search or about SEO.
Gotcha.
So that domain now has more authority over that particular service.
Okay.
For blogs, though, it's for the entire website, and you want that to be accessible everywhere.
That makes sense.
That one, you would want it as a trailing URL.
Okay. Gotcha. So you think only subdomains should be implemented when you're trying to put emphasis on a certain page, or you want to have emphasis on only a certain product or a certain service? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. It's something where it's like if you did something for residential and commercial, you don't want to put them both on the same.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You want it split apart. Like, yeah, they're the same. You're doing the same service, but you're doing it at a different scale for different people.
Gotcha.
Completely different people.
Okay.
And those people require different needs and different sets of services that are probably unrelated to the other one. So you want to have those subdomains relevant to your customers, your viewers, your visitors.
Okay.
You want those relevant to what people are searching for, because Google doesn't just pick up your front page.
Yeah, exactly.
I think people get the misconception that it's only picking up their front page, but it picks up all the pages.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you're a realtor and you do commercial and residential realty, you would want the subdomains for commercial and residential.
Makes sense.
Because if someone's looking up like 4-bedroom house for sale in Dallas, Texas, that's obviously a residential customer.
Yeah.
So you want your residential website to show up, not your commercial building that has 4 offices showing up.
That makes sense. Gotcha.
So there's so many minute little details like that can. It seems like we're splitting hairs. It seems like we're like, why put in all this extra work? But it's because we're trying to get the user to contact you as soon as possible.
Exactly.
We want them. They know what they want. We just need them to get to you now.
Gotcha. Okay, sweet. Man, we talked about it a lot. Technical SEO and on-page SEO, off-page SEO, subdomains. I definitely learned a lot. And I think the listeners will definitely have a lot of information that they need to go digest for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as always, me and Jeff are always here to answer questions about SEO or web development. So if you have any questions, you can drop a comment or contact us on the website. But other than that, Jeff, it's good to have you.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to meeting you again, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Good meeting you.
Yes,
Caleb.
sir. Absolutely.
Bye.